Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening around the world. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Blackjack. Today, unlike always, I will not be doing a deck tech from the comment section for you guys. I am going to be following up on a saga over the past couple of weeks. If you've seen all of the videos, I've been working on a personal deck tech for me. I've been trying to find a specifically three color green, blue, and red spell slinging deck, but it's casual. It has uh not the traditional win cons. It's not taking a bunch of extra turns. It's not casting expropriate to win the game. It's not going off with a bunch of storm spells. It's just a value engine that is fun to play, but ideally, striking a balance between a spell slinging deck that is fun for you and not completely agonizing for all of your opponents has been extremely difficult, honestly. It's probably been one of my biggest deck building challenges I've had in a long time. And I think I've finally found version one of the actual deck that I'm building. And I wanted to show you guys. So this is Kalamax the Stormsire. And it says whenever you cast your first instant spell each turn, if Kalamax is tapped, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Whenever you copy an instant spell, put a 1/1 counter on Kalamax. So this is all about casting spells, but not spells that are so good that they're going to make the game last forever or they're going to be overwhelming for our opponents. We do have a few creatures, just a little bit of a package that can help us out. Archmage Emeritus for card draw, Dual Caster to copy stuff. This is probably going to be cut because I don't want to play any twin flames or anything like that. I don't want to have any infinite combos in here, but for now, this is just in here as a one-of to randomly copy somebody else's spells. Quandrix Apprentice, in testing, this has been really good at getting us a lot of advantage. Ral is sweet to make stuff cheaper. Rashmi is good for advantage. Sakura Tribuilder is the beginning of a massive ramp package, probably the biggest one I've ever put in a deck. Stormkill and Artist to make treasures, and then Wavebreak Hippocamp for more card draw. So to get the ramp out of the way, this is going to be overwhelming, but here we go. Sakura Tribuilder, Nature's Lore, Farseek, Rampant Growth, Shared Roots, 3 visits. Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone, Gruul Signet, Izzet Signet, Simmet Signet, Soul Ring, Talisman, 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 15 pieces of ramp, which I know seems like a lot. The reason I'm doing it here is because one, it's incredibly important that we get Kalamax out consistently on turn 3 every single game. And at 14 to 15 pieces of ramp, you can do that with one free mulligan over 50% of the time. So I always mulligan for a piece of ramp, and I always have Kalamax on turn 3. And then with all of your extra ramp that you have, obviously in the mid to late game, you're not super happy to be drawing these talismans and shared roots and whatnot. We actually have ways for you to redraw by discarding. So Blasphemous Act is a board wipe. Chandra's Ignition can kind of be a one-shot kill if Kalamax is big enough. Mizzix's Mastery to cast everything out of your graveyard. Decimate is just good removal. It's a 4 for 1. Past in Flames to also cast stuff out of your graveyard and then solve the equation. Again, we have no instants or sorceries that will just win the game on their own, but getting something like a Mizzix's Mastery, if it's the mid to late game and you're trying to actually finish, this can help you get across the finish line. And then we have instants, so there's a lot of control elements. So you have Offer You Can't Refuse, Arcane Denial, Counter Spell. We also have Narset's Reversal, Mystic Confluence, a lot of different ways to control what other people are doing. And then you have a lot of fun instants. So Artifact Mutation, you have Ashling's Command, Beast Within, Chaos Warp as well, that can hit anything. And then we're getting to these pieces that allow you to actually discard the excess ramp. So things like Big Score, Demand Answers. We also have Thrill of Possibility, Unexpected Windfall, disgusting art, and Frantic Search. So multiple ways for you to get rid of the excess pieces in your hand. Ways to actually deal damage like Electro Dominance, more card draw, Expansion, Explosion, Factor Fiction, Growth Spiral, Eureka Moment, Brainstorm, Impulse, Planar Genesis, Manamorphose. All of these are ways to get card advantage and draw cards. And then we also have things like Snap, Lightning Bolt. Neither of them are amazing. I mean, Snap obviously is going to pay for itself and then also get you a second copy if it's the first spell. So you're getting to untap and you're getting another Snap and 2 more lands, so it can be great. Things like Lightning Bolt are really just in here because I have a cool art of one and it's decent removal, not great, but why not? We already went over a lot of the ramp, but we do have Springleaf Drum, so we want to make sure that we have ways to actually tap Kalamax down without forcing him to attack, because though he is a 4/4, and you can make him 5/5 by holding priority and casting a spell after you attack with him, we still want to ideally be able to tap him down for other things. So things like Springleaf Drum are great for that. And then we get to the win conditions. So the win cons in this deck are simple but effective. I also didn't want to go the route of painting my opponents to death with Goblin Electromancer and that type of thing where every time I cast an instant or sorcery, I deal a damage with creatures. So we have 3 win cons, well, 4 technically: Aria of Flame, Metallurgic Summoning, Rite of the Dragon Caller, and Shark Typhoon. So we win the game by generating tokens off of these spells and then attacking people with it. We can also win the game by eventually casting such a large swath of spells that Aria of Flame will deal enough damage to take people out. But again, we don't have the storm elements going on here, so it will take a long time for this to work, but it is in here. So these are the win cons that I've identified as the things that I want to be doing. Ideally, as Magic goes on, Wizards will print 1 or 2 more of these and give this deck a good packing punch and have actually quite a few different ways to win the game. I really love these enchantments. I love the idea of casting an instant sorcery and then making a big token to win the game with it. It's not the best way to play this deck. Obviously, you could play a Storm Element, you could play Expropriate type of cards. There's a lot of different ways you can approach Kalamax to make him broken, and I've done my best to avoid all of that. So again, I'm looking for around a bracket 2 casual deck that is powerful but can't just win the game outright. Dual casting is another way to tap down Kalamax and Leyline Immersion. Leyline Immersion, notably, is unbelievably good in this deck. One of the best cards in testing that I've seen so far. Untapping with Kalamax on turn 4 after ramping it out, putting this on him, tapping for 5 mana, and then casting an instant is crazy, crazy good. Wilderness Reclamation, so we can get a second go around out of all of our lands. And then finally, lands as always do the best with what you have, notably Alchemist Refuge for Flash, Holdout Settlement, as well as Survivor's Encampment can help you tap down your Kalamax without having to attack. And then Mistrise Village, just as, you know, if you have it, put it in here. Otherwise, it's definitely not worth $7. But I think I've finally figured it out. I've struck a balance between fun for me and not agonizing for my opponents. In testing, it's been a great time and it has not been overwhelming, so I'm extremely happy with it. This is iteration 1 and I will upgrade it over time, but we are finally done with the saga of what Spellslinging deck is Blackjack going to play, and we can finally get back to all of your deck lists. So, as always, thank you so much for watching, and Godspeed.